Hello everybody, welcome to this episode of Programming and Algorithms. In this episode we're going to look at a little bit about software testing and debugging, in particular how to find out if there's mistakes or bugs in your code. So we're looking at the prime number program again. We've put in 7 is a prime number, we've put in 8 is not a prime number. If we wanted to know what was going on in the code, we could put print statements in to see what values are being calculated each time. So for example, if we put a print in here that prints out A, B, and is prime, B, and is prime, we'd be able to see then each time around the loop what value is being calculated. Let's put it right after the end of. If we save this and then run it, and if we put in the value 7, it tells us how each time around the loop it's divided by the one value below it, and is prime is always true. Whereas if we run it for, let's say, 8, as soon as it gets to the number 4, suddenly is prime is changed to false because we got an even division. And if we run it for 9, we'll see when it gets to the number 3, that is prime changes from true to false. So that gives us a better idea of what's happening inside the loop and what happens at each iteration of the loop. We might as well want to put in, some kind of indicator here when is prime is set to false. So we might say division with row remainder found with B, with, let's say, A into B, something like that. And let's save that and run it again. And if we do it for 7, it won't appear. But if we do it for 8, twice we find that there's a division that results in is prime being set to an even division, a division with no remainder. Is prime is set to false the first time and it stays false then subsequently. Let's run it for the number 9. And there's only one division, it's 3. And when the division is by 3, is prime changes from true to false and it stays false all the time there as well. So that allows us to error check or see what's going on within the loops. Now, instead of taking these print statements in and out once we're happy the program is working, what we could do is have an if statement. And let's have a variable called myErrorCheck, something like that. And let's check if that's true. True, then. And we'll say then. Do this thing. Let's put a colon at the end of the error check, of course. And this if matches this. And we'll do the same thing for the print statement here. And we'll set the Boolean value, myErrorCheck, to be true. So if we save it and run it gives us the exact same output as we just saw. Run for 9. But all we have to do is set myErrorCheck to be false and save that and run it, and suddenly the rest of the print statements disappear, which can be a handy way if you're checking what's going on in a loop, making changes and checking then making changes, rather than having to keep typing in and removing these print statements. Just wrap them in an if statement. And if we want to be very, very fancy, instead of having to change the Boolean value name there, we could have a statement, please input, do you want to turn error checking on or not? And if it's yes, set my error check to be true, else set it to be false. So of course then we'll do the input, please input value after that. So let's see what happens when we save and run this. Sorry, no. I need to bring those two down as well, apologies. And save and run. Now, do we want error checking on? Yes, we do. Put in the value 9. We get those messages. If we turn error checking off, though, and we put in the same value, we just get the result. So that's a nice simple way of debugging or exploring if there are any bugs or errors in the code for the prime number checker. And we could do something similar for the Fibonacci numbers, where we turn error checking on up here, and then we see the values of the countdown, the first number, the second number, and the total for the Fibonacci number sequence. So if we save and run this, let's turn error checking on, and let's give us the 10th number, the Fibonacci number sequence. We can see each value, how it's being added up, and the countdown from 10 to 2, and how we get to the 10th Fibonacci number sequence. So that's a little bit of software testing. We'll do more of that later. Thanks very much. We'll see you on the next episode.